Yeah, evening people. How you doing? Or good morning, of course, afternoon, wherever you're listening around the world. What a pleasant day it has been once again here in, of course, Essex, London, wherever you're from near me. It's been absolutely beautiful. And do you know what? I think most of the majority of the country has been fantastic. Weather in the last couple of weeks. It's been a beautiful, beautiful couple of weeks slash few weeks here for sunshine. So, if I'm honest with you, get out there and enjoy it if you haven't done so already, people. I thought I'd leave it to the evening to have a bit of a chat, see what's happening in the world of Arsenal today. So I thought that we'd do just that and have a bit of a chat about some transfers and a couple of players that I would be very interested in looking at if I was Arsenal's or in charge of Arsenal's transfers. If I was Andrea Berta in this case, for me, I've got to say, yeah, it's going to be a real interesting few months because Arsenal are linked with some serious names and players that I'll be very interested in talking about. So make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit subscribe. They're the first two buttons that need to be hit. They're absolutely free as well, and it does so much. It is going to be just me tonight. There's not a panel coming on, so I thought I'd have a bit of a chat with you about the news and everything that's happening. Before we do that, please make sure that you check out our sponsors of tonight's show, which is, of course, Football Prizes. Now, they have got another Arsenal mega competition, which I know that you guys got involved with last time. This time it is, of course, for who some people say is the best player to play for the club, Thierry Henry, signed and framed shirt. This would be a phenomenal opportunity for you to have one. I would love to have this on the back of my wall. So please make sure you get in for this. There's literally the cheapest of cheap tickets to go in for it. It's 99 pence. Please make sure you do that. The competition ends in 25 days. So you've got quite a few days to get this done. If you are able to, then you can get in quick and go in for the bonus draw, which is, of course, for 2 hospitality tickets to the game this weekend. So please make sure that you are involved in it. Thierry Henry signed shirt. There's also an opportunity to win 20 instant prizes. You can see those here as I bring them up. Trossard, Walcott, Arteta, Raya, Saliba shirts, the 89 home and away shirt. David Seaman signed and framed. Timber, Vieira, Rice, Waneri, Lewis-Skelly, Trossard, Campbell, Bergkamp, Wright, and Martinelli. All signed shirts. Please make sure that you're in it to win it, because if you do not and are not available for the Henry, or not lucky enough, I should say, to win the Thierry Henry one, you could win one of those as well. So please make sure you're in it, Gooners. You have to be in it to win it, man. So let's make sure that we do it. Big up to Football Prizes. Make sure you go to footballprizes.co.uk to check that out and enter. Okay, let's talk about some of the news that's come up in the last day or two. It'd be really interesting to get some of your thoughts on this. Some of this is breaking now, by the way, so we do want to go through it as and when we hear the latest. Look, there's going to be a hell of a lot of reports and rumors. Please make sure that you do not listen to absolutely everything as cemented truth. This is just, literally information sharing. I always say that because otherwise people will say, oh, do you think you're Romano? Do you think you're Ornstein? No, I don't. Trust me. I don't have an ITK. All I do is I look at the info and we discuss it and we see if it's going to happen or not. Now, the title suggests there's 2 players that Arsenal is seriously interested in. That to me is very interesting, and that to me is very exciting. But it's only exciting if they're wearing the Arsenal shirt. So let's discuss what's happening in the world of Arsenal today. Apparently, according to Dean Jones, Arsenal are making backup plans for midfield in case they fail to reach an agreement with Thomas Partey. There's optimism that a new agreement can be reached, but due to a desire to be prepared for every eventuality, the club are making sure they have an awareness of potential deals that can be struck. Ideally, they'd like to look for someone already within the Premier League, given that Zubimendi is going to join from abroad. They do not want to have too many players who are not completely settled in the country by the start of the season. Okay, let's break this down. So Zubimendi looks like he's coming, people. I think we reported on that a few days ago, and if I'm honest, I look at reports and it does sound fairly reliable, okay? So he's going to be coming in the door. Now, Zubimendi is clearly going to be Arsenal's number 6 next season. There's going to be no doubts about it in my mind that Zubimendi will be coming into Arsenal as the number 6. That means that Jorginho has been replaced. He's out the door. He's going back to Brazil, to Flamengo. It's been reported and it's been confirmed that he will no longer be at Arsenal after this season comes to an end. Zubimendi is replacing Jorginho. We've still got Partey, Rice, Marino, And then, of course, the attacking midfielders we've got at the club. Let's just concentrate on the number 6 and the number 8 for now. Let's not worry about the creative midfielder for now. Partey and Rice are very good. Zubimendi is very exciting. Do we need more than that? Well, if Partey is to stay, I don't think we need to worry about another number 6 because we've got 2 exceptional ones. People believe Thomas Partey is washed. He is not. He has been our best midfielder this season. He is clearly the best number 6 at the club. And this season, consistency has been key for him because he's not been injured so much this season, touch wood. However, we have to look towards the possibility that he might go. Now, I must be honest with you. I would be very disappointed if he left. I don't care if he wants to ask for more money. He's on 200k a week. If he wants to get 200k a week again for another year with another year to extend, then brilliant. If he wants to have a pay cut, even better. If he wants more money, I think the club might look at that as a huge question mark. There are reports that Saudi Arabia clubs are interested. There's also been Spanish and Italian reports suggesting that he is interested. Now, when Barcelona and Juventus and these sort of names are linked with your players, you need to keep them at the club. It's not like Thomas Partey is being linked with Levante or Getafe, or he's being linked with Como, or he's being linked with, I don't know, let's say Braga. He is being linked with some of the best clubs in Europe. Therefore, they see him as one of the best number 6 in the players in his position as a number 6. I don't know why it's so hard for people to accept that Thomas Partey needs to stay at Arsenal. I can appreciate we might want to look towards the future, but Thomas Partey is not in his late 30s. He's literally just turned into his 30s now. He is not a player that is going to last 2 seasons and then be retiring. I mean, defensive midfielders can go to 36. So for me, it absolutely has to be a 1-year extension with an option to extend for a further year. That's my preference. If, of course, that isn't looking to be the case, then it looks like Arsenal will go and try and find somebody as well as Zubimendi to bring into midfield. Now, what that begs the question is, where's Rice's future? Well, it's going to be in this box-to-box role. Is Merino a box-to-box midfielder? Not really. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. He's not playing very well in that position. He looks actually better in the number 9. So Merino being covered for Declan Rice, is that going to be good enough moving forward? Or do we need, dare I say it, a Reinders who looks like he's on his way to Man City? Do we need our own version of a box-to-box player that is an upgrade on Merino? Do we still need that Granit Xhaka kind of upgrade? That's the big question mark for me. Now, I personally don't think we're going to get that alongside. I think we're only really going to be bringing in Zubimendi and maybe one more creative midfielder. I don't think we're going to be looking at any more box-to-boxes. I think Rice and Merino are going to be the 2 box-to-box midfielders next season for Arsenal. And people have a huge question mark over whether that's good enough. Look, Thomas Partey, I hope he stays. I really genuinely do. I think he's a top quality player. It's interesting when it says they'd ideally look to someone already within the Premier League. Well, if you're looking towards a number 6 in the Premier League, there's only 2 options. One of them's Baleba, which is going to cost you an absolute bomb. The other one is Adam Wharton, which is going to cost you an absolute bomb. And are they both going to come and sit on the bench behind Zubimendi? I really don't think that is what's going to happen. Let's bring in Alt Gunner's super chat. He says, Dan, Partey stays. I hope so. Plus Zubimendi coming in, Gyokeres and Rodrygo and 1 defender. Do you believe Arteta will get us over the line? I know he's been chastised this season, but the last 2 years Arteta has done some good. Arteta has done a lot of good. A lot of good, yeah, to get us challenging. And I praise him for challenging. I do not praise him for not getting us across the line. And until he does that, yeah, I'm going to remain unconvinced that he can do it. I agree with the names you've mentioned. Do I think he can get across the line? No. He's been chastised. I think justifiably so in some cases, but certainly some people do go over the top with it, but that's football. And if I'm honest with you, those are the sort of names I want to be linked with, but we're going to come on to that more in a second. Let's come to the next bit of news, which is, of course, speaking about the transfer market itself. We reported yesterday that David Ornstein had suggested that Arsenal are going to have this huge summer, and it does seem like that is going to be the case. According to Dean Jones, Arsenal's priorities in the transfer market will be to sign off the deal for Zubimendi and then sign a left-sided attacker and centre forward. There's potential for another central midfielder to come in as well as a central defender or left back, depending on how the market opens up in June or July. Right, let's just be real about this. How many players are coming into Arsenal? I'm not sure. My guess is 5. A lot of people are saying that's way too over the top, and we're only going to get 2 or 3. If we sign 2 or 3, we are way too short going into next season again. Because the players that are going to leave this football club, we're still going to be short. We're not going to lose 2 or 3 players and then bring 2 or 3 players in. We're going to lose potentially 5 or 6 players. If we're bringing 2 or 3 in, we're going to be shorter than this season, the season where we were short. So I can't believe that we're discussing 2 or 3 players coming in. Like, I really can't. So for me, we're going to need more. Now, I totally appreciate why people are linking us with goalkeepers again. People are losing their minds, but we're going to need a backup goalkeeper. I totally appreciate why people are staring and cannot believe in disbelief at another left back or left-sided centre-back. But when you look at it, it probably does make sense, unfortunately, because Nuntavaj, Tierney, Zinchenko and Kivior could all be leaving this football club. And then you look at the situation in midfield we've just discussed. There's surgery needed. And I don't even need to tell you how badly we need a left-sided attacker and a centre forward. So let's just be real. It ain't crazy chat. It really isn't. I don't think so anyway. One of the bits of news that I have to talk about, and I have to really stress the level of importance here, is these 2 players on the screen here. Because people think that, first of all, what we've got to do is get these players in, get this striker in, get this... Yes, we have. But alongside that, Berta has to spin some plates. And the plates he's spinning are, who do you want to leave? Who do you want to sign on a contract? And who do you want to sign for the club? And he has to spin plates. He can't say, right, get rid of everyone. Right, now put everyone on contracts. Right, now start signing. Because we'll be into bloody August by the time that happens. So there's a lot for him to do here. Let's talk about Saka and Saliba, shall we? According to Dean Jones, Saka's set to become Arsenal's highest earner. Now, I appreciate that and think that has to happen. Insiders are suggesting that he'll smash clear of the £300,000 a week barrier when he signs his contract extension. Saliba will also head towards the £300,000 a week mark, sources have indicated. Cool. Fine by me. Why do people get so hecked up about how much people earn? If they're your best player at the club, they should be on that. Do you know why they should be on 300k a week each? Because Kai Havertz is on 290 a week. That's why. These 2 players are levels on Kai Havertz, so they should be on the highest wages. The highest paid players at this club should be Bukayo Saka, William Saliba and Gabriel. And for me, probably Declan Rice. They're the 4 players that should be on the highest wages. Then you can start talking about the other players like Jurriën Timber, and you can start talking about the importance of some of the other names that have been mentioned in the past, like Ødegaard, etc. But for me right now, it is clear that the 4 best players at the club are Saka, Saliba, Rice and Gabriel. And all 4 of them need to be the highest paid. Because that's how it works. I won't have these Arsenal accountants that start saying, I hope he's on less. I'd like him to take a pay cut. I'd like us to only offer this much. Why? It's not your money. Like, what are we doing here? Like, real talk is crazy. Shaitanya says, back up for Saliba. He's played so much. He's the next injury. Absolutely, we will need that, and we'll come to that. It's not our money. Who cares? Get the likes up, people. Walk Gooner, you're a legend. Thank you so much, man. And I couldn't agree with it more. Hit the likes, people. There's 773 of you to be exact in here. Make sure you hit the like button. At the moment, we've only got 125. You're slacking, people. Like and subscribe. It's 2 buttons that are free. Come on. If you like what we do here over at 12th Man and you want to join the community, then please make sure you hit like and subscribe. If you would like to become a member of the channel, you can, of course, click join, which is next to like and subscribe, and it'll be a minimal fee a month to try and support the content. If you do not do that, trust me, it's fine, but please hit like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Look, these 2 getting signed is like 2 new signings, and I know this sounds like Arsene Wenger, but these 2 worry me. Not so much Saka, but certainly Saliba. The other 2 in Gabriel and Martinelli, I'm a bit worried about why they're not mentioning these 2. Now, I'm not so worried if Martinelli was to be the casualty and he was to go, but Gabriel leaving would be massive, massive, massive news. I would be so sad if we lost Gabriel to Saudi. I don't think we can afford to lose any of these players. Martinelli included, I think would be a brilliant squad player to have next season. I don't know why people want him gone. Particularly for what they said. Some people have said, oh, do you know what? 25 million, he can go. What? 25 million? Come on, man. Like, that's not right. We're talking about Mitoma being 70 million. We're talking about Cunha being 65 million. If someone's going to be offering that sort of money, then yeah, fair play. But 25, 30 million for Martinelli, no thank you. That's where I'm at with it. So these two need to be signed up. I think Andrea Berta is 100% behind both these deals, saying, let's get this done. He's talking to them both. He's trying to keep them happy. And I genuinely do believe both of them are happy for now. I'm not saying they're going to be in the next 5 years if we haven't won anything, yeah? And I genuinely do believe one day that William Saliba will be wearing a Real Madrid shirt. There's not much we can do about it. However, I don't think it will be this summer. We might be able to keep him for 2 more, but then it depends what he does with his signature. If we get to a stage where these 4 have not signed at the end of this summer, we seriously have to get them signed up by January, or we're going to have to sell them in the following summer. And they only have 1 year left. That's not good, because they're going to be less money than they're worth. So if I was to say to you, we keep Saliba for 2 more years and then he walks on free, or we sell him this summer for 100 million, which are you doing? Do you want a Trent Alexander-Arnold situation? Do you keep him for 2 years and pray he wins something here and he walks for nothing? Or do you sell him for 100 million? You've got to take the money. You can't let him go for nothing. It's crazy, but this is where we're at, people. This is where we're at. Some people are saying walk on a free. I get it. I hear it. You pray that 2 years we win something. What happens if we don't? And he walks for nothing, and he's to age of 26 and he's won nothing in his career. He's going to go Real Madrid and go, yeah, this club ain't serious. And this is why I said youth projects don't always work, because we've seen Fabregas and Van Persie say, I want to stay at Arsenal forever, only to go and leave for Barcelona and Manchester United. We had 4 of them go to Manchester City and win stuff. We've had other people leave for clubs that are actually going and winning stuff. So for me, it's tough to take. You've got to be competitive and you've got to deliver. You've got to win trophies alongside being competitive for the league, or you've got to win the league itself. So that's Saka and Saliba. I don't think there's any shocks that we're trying to sign them down to a new contract. £300,000 a week. Give it to them. Give it to both of them. Long term. Then we come to some exciting news, and people don't know why I'm excited about this, because this is a guy that I've been going on about for quite some time. And if I'm honest with you, I think people are probably sick and tired of hearing me talking about this guy. But I'm going to talk about him again, because there's good news, people. We are in pole position for Victor Gyokeres, it seems. Now, I'm not saying this is a definite. It's not cemented he's coming to Arsenal, and there are definitely clubs looking at him. But Andrea Berta looks to be working some magic, mate, because it looks now like actually there could be some agreements that are being put in place. Now, there was a suggestion on AFTV yesterday that we have agreed terms and that we've put in a bid and that we're looking to get him. It's looking like we can get this over the line. Before I go any further, please make sure you hit like and subscribe, and big up to Jay. Jay is our new member. Absolute legend, Jay. Thank you so much for that, my bro. If you would like to be a member, you can click the join button. Hit the like and subscribe, though, at the bare minimum, please. Thank you very much. Look, I love Victor Gyokeres. I look at his form. I think it's unbelievable. And I'm going to do this again because I did this the other day. I look at his stats, right? Let's just look at his stats in the last few seasons. He scored 29 league goals last season and got 10 assists. This season, he's got 38 league goals and 7 assists. That is absolutely phenomenal. The guy has only played 32 games and he's got 38 goals. Goals and assists, 45 in 32 matches. Last season, he got 39 in 33. In the Champions League, he got 6 goals and 1 assist. He only played 8 games and he got 7 goals and assists. Crazy. And in the cup games, he's been scoring as well. In the Europa League, he got 7 goals and assists in just 9. That was last season. He is absolutely electric. He got 4 goals and assists in 8 matches for Sweden. So he's doing it in the Euro qualifiers as well. And we all know what he did at Coventry. In just 49 games, he got 33 goals and assists. Absolutely phenomenal. This is a must. Honestly, I think he's an excellent talent. He's a bagsman. He's scoring goals, all sorts of goals, holding the ball up, link-up plays good, aerially he's a threat. I love the fact that he can use both feet. His ball-carrying stats are brilliant. If I'm honest with you, it's kind of an all-round number 9. And when you've been delivering for this long, which is 3-4 seasons now, it is absolutely worth taking a punt, especially when it's a steal. This is going to be a deal that could cost less than Kai Havertz. Absolutely crazy. This is a must. Reports are suggesting that Sporting have an agreement in place with Gyokeres to let him leave for around 70 million euros, which I think is just over 60 million. They hope a bidding war could push that amount higher. However, that's unlikely, with the player already grabbed emotionally and financially by Arsenal. So in quotes there, it says that he is grabbed emotionally and financially by Arsenal. Let's hope that is thanks to Andrea Berta, who we believe has already been speaking to him. We're keen favourites to sign him. Yes, somebody might get there instead. But if it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona, Man United, all these teams that want him, if Arsenal are the ones he's emotionally grabbed by and financially grabbed by, let's hope he chooses us. Now, there's suggestions and rumours and reports yesterday from John Cross that he's going to be given around about £200,000. That is an absolute fine bit of business by me. If we're paying 60 to 65 million euros for this guy and we're putting him on £200,000 a week, let's do it. Let's do it. I think when you look at what Manchester United's ties are with Amorim and him, maybe if they win the Europa, he could be tempted. But you telling me he's going to pick Manchester United's project over us? Does he know that Amorim's going to stay there? Let's hope that he knows that at number 9, he's the new Arsenal striker. In fact, he'll probably be given the number 14 shirt, not the number 9. But you get my point. For me, he's going to be an unbelievable signing for someone, and I pray that it's Arsenal. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again, people. I'll be devastated if we don't sign Victor Gyokeres. I'll be devastated if he goes to Manchester United or Chelsea. I'll be devastated if he goes to Liverpool. If he ends up going to any club that I could say, do you know what, fair dues, it would probably be Barcelona. If Barcelona want to replace Lewandowski, for me, he's the perfect fit. So for me, I'm a big, big believer in this player, and I'll be devastated if he goes to another Premier League side. Yes, I'll be annoyed if he doesn't choose Arsenal when he goes to a Barca or someone like that, but I'd at least understand it a bit more. For me, if you're coming to the Premier League, there's only 2 places that he should be going, and that's Arsenal and Liverpool. City have got Haaland, Newcastle have got Isak. There's no point looking at Chelsea or United at the moment because they're in nowhere near the position that we need to be in, and that we're in, for me, a position that needs to go and win this league. So I absolutely need to see this player signing for Arsenal. People keep asking me, how's he going to fit into the system? If I'm honest with you, I'm not even going to lie. People that say to me he's not going to fit the profile, he's not going to fit the system, I don't really know what the system and profile is that Mikel Arteta wants. Stop using this, oh my God, what is the profile that is going to sort? How is the profile going to fit for? What do you mean, how's the profile going to fit? Mikel Arteta has not had a profile of striker for quite some time. We don't know what the profile is that he wants. Big up to Saeed, my bro. Thank you so much for the raid, man. I really appreciate that. There's now 1,200 people in here, so big up to you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Your guy Gyokeres, the one that you want as well, Man United fans. Is he on the way to Arsenal? If you win that Europa League, which I, of course, want you to do because I cannot stand Tottenham, and let's be real, Man United fans, if you lose to them, boy, that's an embarrassment. Real talk. But big up to Saeed. Hopefully, even if you do win that, he's not tempted by your Champions League football, even though you do have, of course, Ruben Amorim. But big up to the Saeed Raiders, man. Much appreciated, and love to you all, man. Thank you so, so much. And make sure you're following Saeed TV, man, because the guy's a legend, man. He puts in unbelievable work rate. So please make sure that you're showing the love and going and watching his content. 1.2K in the building, but not even 300 likes. What are you guys doing, man? Come on. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get that up to 600 likes. Come on. We can do that. That's quite an easy target, I would say. So that's Victor Gyokeres. People are talking about the profile of striker. Is it the profile of striker that Manchester United, buy me, what am I doing? It's because you've got Man United fans in here now. What are you doing to my brain? Is he the sort of profile that Arsenal and Arteta are going to be looking at? People have said he's not going to fit the profile. Well, I don't quite know what the profile is of a striker of Mikel Arteta's ilk, because I've seen Aubameyang, I've seen Lacazette, they're different. I've seen Jesus, they're different. I've seen Kai Havertz, they're different. I've seen Eddie Nketiah, they're different. So who is the striker that Mikel Arteta wants? What profile? Is it an Isak? Is it a Gyokeres? Is it more of a Harry Kane? Or is it more of a Luis Suarez? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's very, very different strikers. So for me, the ones available, I think are all going to be in a similar ilk. If Arsenal were to say to me, if you say to me now, which striker are Arsenal signing? I'm not going to be able to give you an answer, but I know it's going to be probably one of Gyokeres or Sesko. And I think both of them give similar attributes. Gyokeres is just more of a bagsman, which is why I want to take the bagsman, right? And he's ready now. Sesko's not ready. He's 20 years old or whatever it is. Not saying that Lamine Yamal can't be not ready, but they're quite rare. He doesn't look the finished article for me, Sesko. I'm sure he'll be great. I'm not saying he's terrible. He doesn't excite me like Gyokeres does. For 4 years, this guy's been putting in crazy numbers in. I think we absolutely have to get him. We absolutely have to. So for me, it's a must, an absolute must. There's a new kit, people. There's a new kit. And if I'm honest with you, I quite like it. Do you know why I like it? Because it's an Arsenal kit with Adidas. That's why. Arsenal have unbelievable kits. And with Adidas and Nike, they're always great. But with Adidas, for me, I'm so glad that we've got Adidas as our sponsors because they're so good, man. So good. I must say, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Who's going to get the kit? Yes or no in the chat. Are you going to buy the new home kit? It does look nice. I do like the collar. I do like the design. I do love the fact that it's got, if you zoom in, it's got the kind of artwork within the red. I really do like it. Dan's going to buy the new shirt. He's part of the problem. I get that all the time. When I get a new shirt, you're filling the Cronky's pockets. I always get that. Do you know what? I don't care because do you know what happens? I buy a kit and the owners still stay. If I don't buy a kit, the owners ain't leaving, mate. Yeah. I heard Dan Potts isn't going to buy the new football shirt, home shirt. We better sell the club. Get out of here. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So there we go. Will I get it? Maybe I will. I normally do get the home kit, to be fair. So yeah, it's one of those. But there we go. New kit. Enough said about that. Let's move on to some numbers. Shirt squad number changes, shall we? My boy Ethan Nwaneri, he's going to be wearing the number 22 shirt at Arsenal next season. That's come from Charlie Watts. While Miles Lewis-Skelly will keep number 49. I like the fact that he's keeping 49 because the song's actually pretty cool. 49, Lewis-Skelly. I quite like that, I've got to say. I think he should keep that. I think that's one for him. Number 22 currently is David Raya. That Ethan will be taking the shirt number of, which means that he will now take shirt number 1. So he'll be changing from 22 to number 1 and giving the number 22 squad number to Ethan Nwaneri. Kai Havertz is back, people. They did a training session today, an open training session for all of the fans to come down at the Emirates to see. If I'm honest with you, it's pretty good news in terms of injuries there. Declan Rice, Leandro Trossard, and Kai Havertz all back in training. So I've got to be honest, they're all coming back now. It's a shame they couldn't come back in time for PSG, but you know what? It is what it is. I say that it's only really Havertz, to be honest, because Trossard and Rice have been playing. But there was rumours and suggestions that they both had hamstring injuries. Well, both of them were in training. I don't know if that means they're playing on Sunday. I imagine it means Rice and Trossard will probably start. I'm not sure that Kai Havertz will. I think Kai Havertz will probably be on the bench versus Newcastle and then potentially could come on for the last 10-15 if he deserves to get a few minutes. And if Mikel's happy for him to throw him on, we'll see. I don't mind Kai Havertz as a squad player. I've got to be honest. I'm not a huge lover of Kai Havertz starting every week in the 9, but I think bringing him on, he gives us a little something different, a different dimension. So for me, yeah, I'm for him being in the squad. I just don't like him as our actual number 9. We've got Saliba modelling the new kit. We've got Rice and Calafiori. And then we get João Pedro news. I've got to be honest with you. I really like João Pedro. And there's a lot of people saying that we should be bringing in 2 strikers. Some are suggesting it should be Gyokeres and Sesko. Some are suggesting it should be Gyokeres and Jonathan David, who's on a free. I've heard some people suggest that it should be Gyokeres and Hugo Ekitike. And now I'm hearing some people saying that João Pedro should be our backup striker. I like João Pedro. I do. Is he a little bit injured, though? Is he a little bit injury prone? I mean, I'd have to speak to Maz and Adam, the Brighton reps, but is he a player that you've seen enough of this year? Because when I see him, I rate him. He scores against us. He does well against us. But I look at the scenario of him and think, How often have I seen you regularly play? Because Danny Welbeck's been playing due to his injuries. We've also seen other players up top, haven't we? And not so much Evan Ferguson. There's someone else that I've missed that's been playing up top as well. But João Pedro, for me, is an absolute baller. I really like him. I think he's a very good player. I just don't think we're signing two strikers, people. I think he looks at Kai Havertz and Jesus as that backup striker. I don't think he wants another backup. So for me, it would be interesting. But Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea are all showing interest in João Pedro for a possible summer transfer. Arsenal are understood to be long-term admirers. The Telegraph reports that they have explored the possibility of signing him in previous seasons. So look, this comes from Sam J. Dean, which to be honest with you, just sounds like if he is up for grabs, then Arsenal might want him because we've been interested before. I don't think that's a reliable enough source to say, do you know what? Arsenal are keen to go and get him. I think there's just some slim interest and loose interest. I don't think that he'll be cheap, by the way. If Brighton are going to be selling him, we know Brighton don't sell for cheap. Yeah. The only player that they've sold for cheap is Trossard and probably Alexis McAllister. Ben White was 50 million. We've seen Caicedo go for mad money. It looks like Baleba, if he was to be off, would go for mad money. So Brighton, they know what they're doing. So yeah, let me know in the chat. Just say yes or no to João Pedro. João Pedro, would you sign him? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Interesting. Very interesting. I like him. I think he'd suit Liverpool and Chelsea as well, by the way. I don't think it's just Arsenal. I think he could actually start for Chelsea. If I'm honest, I think he could start for all three. Who am I kidding? But if we are going to be going for, let's say, Gyokeres, he's not going to start. And I think if Chelsea were to go just for João Pedro, I think he would start. We've got never, no. We need world-class players. No, no, no. Big no. No for me. Nope, no. Yes, he's a baller. No, no. It sounds like the majority of people are saying no. Wow. I thought a lot of people would be more interested and more keen in that. I mean, if he was a backup striker, it would be fine by me. But I just feel like Havertz is going to be that, particularly now that he's back. I think now that we know that he's back, I don't think it's going to be a worry going into next season about how fit he's going to be. So for me, Havertz is the backup striker. And hopefully it's Gyokeres that's going to be the first team striker. Saka working hard in training, smiling in training. A few pictures today of what happened. Kind of saw us there as well. They had an open training session. Kai Havertz welcomed back by the team, which is all good. Gabriel and Simba showing their appreciation today. Gabriel, not sure how long he's out for, but it does sound like he's going to be out till the new season. News on Sambi Lokonga is practically decided that he will not stay at Seville beyond this season-long loan, and he will be returning to Arsenal. Now, this signing was so bad, wasn't it? My goodness. We signed this guy for £17 million from, I think it was Anderlecht, was it? And we were told by Vincent Kompany and Thierry Henry, who saw him when they were at the, I think Vincent Kompany was the Anderlecht manager, and I think Thierry Henry was the assistant of Belgium. They said this guy could be the next Yaya Toure. Now, I don't really know that they should really have any scouting knowledge at all, because there is no way that this guy's anywhere near the level of Yaya Toure. Now, I'm sure he can go and have a good season somewhere, but it isn't going to be at Arsenal. We'll be lucky to get about 5 to 8 million back for this guy. We really will. We really, really will. It'll be interesting to see how much we can get for this guy, because he is not good enough. Don't quite know where his best position is. He's definitely not an attacking 8. He's definitely not a box-to-box. For me, he's a holding midfielder. To be fair to him, if I was to give him any form of attribute that I say is great, it would be that he can actually pass forward. That is literally it. He progresses the ball well. Other than that, it's quite hard, really. It's hard for me. It's hard. Now, there were suggestions that Gabriel Martinelli was leaving the open training session at the Emirates Stadium with a injury. Now, I couldn't really see that there was any injury that was happening or occurring, if I'm honest. So for me, yeah, I wasn't too bothered about reports of that. But look, if he is injured, then of course we're going to have to see what's happening. What's going on with my screen, by the way? Why is it gone all funny? Why is it doing that? No idea why it's doing that. Stop it. Why is it going up like that? Hang on a minute, guys. Let's see if I can stop this. Oh, it's gone all booed. Hang on. Let's come back a minute. Let's go back into it. I don't know what's happening there. That's very bizarre, but there we go. Okay, where did we get down to? Let's go for it. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't know that he is going to be, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's still doing it, isn't it? I think it must be something to do with this here. Why is that? Yeah, it doesn't seem to like that, does it? It's talk. There's talk of some monitoring of centre backs. If I'm honest, I don't really know why we're linked with a load of Real Madrid young centre backs, but apparently we're monitoring those, so that could be quite interesting. Watch this space. Kai Havertz is obviously come. We've spoken about Kai Havertz, Rice, Trossard, both in Arsenal training this morning. And then this is where I wanted to come to. Here we go. Okay. I don't know what was going on with all the videos there, but that was very, 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 very confusing, if I'm honest with you. Okay. Let's talk about this. This excites me, people. I can't lie. This excites me. I'll tell you why it excites me. I didn't even mention this name previously because I just did not see this happen. I did not see this happening. But my God, if it does, it will be an incredible signing. I'm, of course, talking about Rodrygo. Now, a lot of people have suggested that Real Madrid are interested in potentially letting him go. Now, we're saying this as if Xabi Alonso has said this. He's only just walked in the door. Xabi Alonso may not want to get rid of him. He might have a chat with him and say, look, this is where I see your future and this is where you need to be playing and I want you to stay. And he might stay. Rumours are suggesting he wants to play left wing. They've got Vinny Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. Now, Mbappe was a left winger, then he moved through centrally. Vinny Jr. is on the left, and I don't think he's going to be moved from there. Rodrygo's playing on the right. Now, it says here that Arsenal and Liverpool are starting to believe that they could sign Rodrygo this summer. TBR Football can reveal both clubs are getting excited at the prospect. It's understood that Rodrygo has 90% made up his mind to leave Real Madrid. Now, that's come from Graham Bailey. If this guy wants to leave Arsenal, we must. Andrea Berta, we must. This would be phenomenal. He, for me, would take us to the new level. I think he's that good. I honestly believe if we're looking at keeping Saka on the right, putting Gyokeres down the middle, and Rodrygo on the left, rah, that could be pretty outstanding. That could be a front three that excites us for the next few seasons. All at the age of around, 24 to 26? That is what you want to be seeing. I would love this to happen. Like, for me, I think this is a must. Now, people are saying, how much would he cost? 100 million euros is what's being suggested, which is around about 85 million pounds. That is an absolute steal for someone of that quality. He's 24 years old. He can play right wing or left wing. He wants to play left wing. He's a Brazilian international. He's won everything with Real Madrid. His numbers have been crazy. The goals that he's been scoring have been from both sides, and they've been unbelievable strikes, by the way. A lot of them coming from outside the box, which is something we just don't do, is shoot from outside the box. Now, people might say this is wild. Stop dreaming. If he's leaving Real Madrid, where's he going? Where's he going? He's not going to Barcelona. He's not going to PSG. I don't think he's going to Italy. I don't think he's going to France. I don't think he's going to Germany. I think he's coming to England if he leaves Real Madrid. Now, I don't think he fancies Saudi at 24 years old. It would be crazy for me if he did that. I think it has to happen. Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are the three teams I think probably will be in for him. It wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle tried to be ambitious and go for him. It wouldn't surprise me. But I feel like he wants to play on the left, and Newcastle have got Barnes and Gordon. Manchester City, I feel like they've signed Marmoush and Savio for their future kind of forward-thinking wingers. Now, I'm not saying that they're better than Rodrygo. They're not. Would City be in for him? Yeah, I think they probably would, if I'm honest. Liverpool, I'm not sure. They've got Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah. Now, I'm not saying, again, that they don't need them, but I think right now, if you're looking at where do I play, where do I take to a new level, I honestly believe Arsenal is a brilliant shout for him. Now, if he looks at trophies, he's obviously going to look at City and Liverpool ahead of us, right? If I'm honest, Newcastle have won a trophy, and they're going to that kind of next level, in my opinion. I think this would be a phenomenal signing, people. I honestly think this guy would be ridiculous. If he can work his magic, Mr. Andrea Berta, this would be a phenomenal signing. Now, when people say to me about Wenger didn't really bring any world-class players in, to be fair to him, he did turn top players into world-class stars. Vieira, Henry, etc. However, when you look at the Emirates era, he bought some ready-made stars as well. Aubameyang from Dortmund was a ready-made star, and look what Arteta, managed to win with him, which was the FA Cup, right? Then you look at what Alexis Sanchez did at Arsenal, the best player in the Emirates era by far. Mesut Ozil at Real Madrid was a ready-made player. Arteta hasn't done that yet, right? Arteta hasn't done that yet. He's brought in Declan Rice, but that wasn't one that, let's say, it excited us. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't one that we looked at and thought, you know what? Like, that's the one now that everyone's now looking at. He came from West Ham. He didn't come from Real Madrid or Barcelona. So for me, I'm looking at it right now thinking, yeah, this is the one that I need to be seeing. Rodrygo and Gyokeres for 150 million is an absolute must. I'd take that over Isak for 150. I would. 100% I would. So when I look at it right now, a lot of people will say, do you want XYZ or XYZ? I'm telling you who I want. I want Gyokeres and I want Rodrygo. Simple. Both available. And if I'm honest with you, a lot of people are saying that we need 6, 7, 8 players. Don't care. These two come in. They're available. Statement signing. Take us to the next level. Let's get it done. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people believe that, this is impossible. Why? He wants to leave Real Madrid. He's lost to Arsenal already this season. He will be looking at his next move thinking, who's interested? And if it's the Premier League, we've got to sell him the dream. And we've got to say, if you go Liverpool and City, you'll be fighting for your place. Come for Arts Arsenal, you start every week. Alongside the likes of, and you list the players. So we've got to sell him this dream. We need you to come and win us trophies, just like we needed Ozil to win us trophies, just like we needed Bergkamp to win us trophies, etc. Throwing a bit of the history there, convince him that this is the guy to bring in, and let's hope and pray that he's the one that we're going to get. There's 400 likes. We need to double that, people. There's 1.6k in the building. Please make sure you do me a favor and hit that like button. Come on, people. Like and subscribe. Okay, let's go to the next story because obviously Rodrygo has been mentioned. We've spoken a little bit about Thomas Partey already. There's some more news earlier that was quite interesting in relation to his kind of future and where he sees his next few years, I suppose. And I think it's interesting to talk about this because I really like Thomas Partey and I want him to stay. And it says here that from Simon Collins that Partey is willing to reject offers from Saudi Arabia. His preference is to be signing a new contract at Arsenal. The player hopes that agreement can be found and he'd ideally like the situation resolved before Arsenal's final game of the season. Do you know what, Thomas? I want that sorted as well. Yeah, I really do. So let's pray that we get that sorted. Rodrygo, potential market opportunity, says Sam C. Ongoing in discussions regarding the possibility of signing in this summer. Now, what that means to me is that Andrea Berta and co are talking about this guy. I don't want to get too excited because I hate doing that when you think you're going to get a guy and you don't. But I really am excited about these two signings, more so than I have been in a while. And I get told I'm negative and calm down, all this rubbish, because too often I'm not, if I'm honest, talking about results or Arteta's future. I'm talking about Arsenal's future here. And if we bring in Gyokeres and Rodrygo, that is an ambitious couple of signings. And do you know what it also is? Statement signing to everybody in the league. Everybody in the league will look at that and go, oh, that's not what we want to hear. That's not what we want to see. So if I'm honest with you, yeah, this has to happen. This absolutely has to happen. Big up to Dan Ballard, obviously, yesterday, getting that goal for Sunderland. Unbelievable. I wanted to touch on Dean Howson as well. Now, Dean Howson is someone that Arsenal apparently are looking at. However, it's been reported today that Real Madrid are pretty much in for him. Does sound like he's going to go there. It says that Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool are ready to trigger the release clause this month and are seeking to agree personal terms with the player. Now, listen, if Real Madrid are interested in this guy, they're going to get him. It come out today to say that it's pretty much a done deal. If we're interested and we want to release and trigger the clause, then just trigger it anyway. Then he can make a decision, can't he? Now, I'm not saying we should be putting £50 million on a defender next after Zubimendi. I think our fan base will lose their heads. But if it's a culmination and he's spinning plates and we have to put in 50 million for Howson alongside 50 million deal for Zubimendi, alongside striking a deal for Gyokeres and working on a deal for Rodrygo, I won't mind so much. What I will be frustrated in is if we go and sign a goalkeeper for 30 million, a left back for 30 million, a centre back for 50 million, a defensive midfielder for 50 million, and then it's like, right, they've spent £200 million and we still don't have a striker yet. I don't think Arsenal are going to do that. I don't think Dean Howson comes to Arsenal. I think it's a done deal and I think he'll be going to Real Madrid. And do you know what? Good luck to him. Apparently it's his dream. He's a Spanish international. Real Madrid are after him. They're interested in him. And do you know what? He's done well at Bournemouth. And in fact, there's 3 players at Bournemouth that fans are saying are probably going to leave them. And that's Semenyo, Gyokeres and Dean Howson. And I think all 3 of them would probably make a difference to Arsenal's squad in a good way. So I do think that's going to be a great bit of business, I've got to be honest. So that will be very, very interesting. So yeah, that's where we're at. Yesterday it was reported a little bit more on Gyokeres from, of course, John Cross. Sharing this as it goes down the page on AFC stuff. I do like AFC stuff, as you know. Apparently, John Cross says that Arsenal have been told they can sign Gyokeres for £60 million. Sporting are willing to do business this summer, and Gyokeres would command a contract well in excess of £200,000 a week, which would make him one of Arsenal's top earners. Well, he actually won't be one of Arsenal's top earners if Saka and Saliba and co sign more deals on the contract of £300,000, as we said earlier. Now, look, I think this could happen. I really do. I'll be very disappointed if it doesn't. It's got to happen. £60 million is an absolutely amazing deal. 80 plus, 60 plus for Rodrygo and Gyokeres, between 140 and 150. Go get it done. We need to spend more than that, but if we're spending 50 on Zubimendi as well, that takes it to 200. Then what you need to do is go and get your backup goalkeeper and defender, which will probably take you to closer to 300 million. And then we're good to go. Now, I don't think we are done. I think we need potentially 7 or 8 signings. I've said that. Yeah. People might say they want another left back. They want another centre half. They want another creative midfielder. I can buy that. But for me, those are the key positions that we need. I think everyone can agree those 5 positions are absolutely needed. And that's a backup goalkeeper, a backup defender, defensive midfielder, a winger, and of course, a striker. That's what we need. So, yeah. Let's see what we do. Rodrygo being mentioned here. Yesterday, it said that Arsenal are one of the clubs that has shown the most interest in Rodrygo and are monitoring his situation ahead of the summer transfer window. Now, this Edu Burgos guy is apparently, according to Ben Jacobs, fairly reliable. Now, I don't know how many people think Ben Jacobs is reliable, but I will say this. He reckons that this is quite a reliable source. Now, it does sound like Arsenal are massively keen on bringing him in. I just hope it happens. These 2 signings, as I've titled it, exciting. Exciting. If it happens, massively exciting. Got to be honest with that. William Saliba, we kind of brought this news to you yesterday, but we'll just quickly touch on it. Apparently, he wants to stay at Arsenal. Real Madrid are looking at him and Ibrahima Konate at Liverpool. And apparently, they want Ibrahima Konate on a free transfer. Now, apparently, Liverpool are doing a madness again. And they're potentially going to allow Konate to run his contract down. This is madness. Real Madrid, I hope, get Konate, and I hope they get Dean Howson, because they might then not want Saliba for a few more years. That's what I'm praying. Praying for. Excuse me. That's why I'm absolutely set on them signing other players ahead of us. That's what I will say. So look, people, there's a lot that we've gone through. There's a lot of people that are excited about this summer. If I'm honest with you, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Andrea Berta needs to spin plates. He needs to walk in. He needs to say, right, which of you players are leaving? Which of you players are staying? And which of you players are signing? Whilst he's working that out, he needs to then look at who's coming in. So there needs to be a culmination of stuff happening while he's spinning plates. Over here, we're spinning who's staying and who's signing the contract extension, whilst over here, I'm identifying who, indeed, we are going to bring in. So for me, I've got to be honest, I'm really excited about Andrea Berta. Am I excited about what Arsenal are going to win? That's a different debate. Still not convinced by the manager. Unless he can bring me a trophy, I'm not going to be. But all I can do now is look towards, the potential for some of the signings that are coming in and then make a kind of decision on that, to be fair. So that's where I'm at. Man. So yeah, it could be interesting. Very interesting. Have we got some idiots in the chat? Potentially we will have. Let me see if I can get rid of some of these idiots. Okay, no, they're just arguing between themselves. I don't know why we do this. Listen, people, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you have done that. What we got at the moment, we got 1.6 in the building and we've got 480 likes. Let's see if we can get that up to 1,000 likes by the end of this stream. Let's see if we can do it, people. I have my faith in you. That means there's only 579 of you that don't have to hit the like button. Don't be one of those guys, man. Don't be one of those guys that don't hit the like and subscribe. There's only 2 buttons to hit. It's free. Let's get it done, people. Come on. Big up. Look, a lot of people are speaking about the goalkeeper situation, and I wanted to address it because a lot of people are suggesting that we might have another David Raya and Ramsdale situation on our hands. I don't think we're going to have that. I think he's learned from that. With David Raya being given the number 1 jersey, I think it makes it quite clear that he's staying in goal this season. And if it's going to be Joan Garcia from Espanyol, he's not coming in to take his place. He's coming in to try and compete with it and then obviously pick up the number 2 jersey. Now, when you're a backup goalkeeper, it's probably one of the most difficult signings to make. And I've always believed that you should have a proper number 1 and then experienced backup so that you can just rotate that experience each year. I always use Kasper Schmeichel as an example, but sometimes there's been in the past Mark Schwarzer as an example. I think sometimes people have signed the likes of Scott Carson, Richard Wright, Stuart Taylor, some of those Arsenal goalkeepers and ex-goalkeepers. What I will say is there's a real opportunity for us to look at that goalkeeping situation and just set it in stone. It's been too long now where we've had goalkeepers galore. I don't want any more goalkeepers, really. We might have to buy one, unless, of course, you believe that Carl Hine or Thomas Setford's good enough as your number 2, and that might be the case. Save some money if you believe so. But I don't want another Ramsdale Rice situation. If someone's coming in that's going to be number 1, my God, that's going to be a madness. We'll be going backwards, in my opinion. So there we go. That's where I'm at with that. In terms of the defence, if it's not going to be Dean Howson, which looks like he's going to Real Madrid, Yoel Harto has been mentioned over at Ajax. Now, if there is, the potential for Kivior to go, I think Joel Harto could be a really good one, to be fair. I like him. Reminds me very similarly to Jurriën Timber in terms of his attributes. I'm a big fan. I think he's only 19 years old, so he'd be someone that can come in and be back up and be quite happy to be back up. So I'm a big fan. The other position, attacking midfield. And I'll tell you the 2 that I would be interested in. One's playing for Villarreal, Alex Baena, got another assist tonight, believe it or not, for Nicolas Pepe, who scored. And the other player who played in the Premier League, and he's a massive Arsenal fan, and he's in the FA Cup final at the weekend, and it's Eze. I've always been a fan of him. I think he can play in a number of positions across the front 3. I think he can, other than play up top, be right, left, or attacking midfield. I think he could probably play in that left attacking midfield role as well. Box to box, maybe not so much, but certainly in an advanced 8, I think he could play there. I think it's a no-brainer, a £60 million release clause. So we could find ourselves in a scenario where if we could do the madness and get Rodrygo for 100 million euros, we release the clause of Victor Gyokeres for around 60. We release the clause of Zubimendi for 50. Release the clause for Eze for 60. Oh, you're playing FIFA now, playing Football Manager. Guess what? We've been left in a position where we might have to. because we're short. This ain't going by 2 or 3. This is going by 5 or 6. That's the scenario we're left in. And people will say Arteta won't do that, but he actually has. If you remember a few seasons ago, he bought Erdegaard, he bought Ben White, he bought Ramsdale, he bought Tomiyasu, he bought Lokonga, and he bought Tavares. That was all in one window. Yes, he was rebuilding, but guess what? That's what we're doing again, people. Whether you like it or not, and whether Igal says it's a retooling or a re-pro or whatever the hell it is called it is a rebuild. That's what it is. Manchester City are rebuilding, yeah? Manchester City are rebuilding. They're getting They're getting Wirtz and Reinders, even though Liverpool have apparently come in for Wirtz and Bayern have come in for Wirtz. If they get Wirtz and Reinders with Rodri back, they could win the league. They could. Let's see. It's not just going to be us, by the way. Yeah, it ain't just going to be us. It's going to be Manchester United spending money, Chelsea spending money, Tottenham spending money, Liverpool spending money. You're going to get City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea. All these guys are going to be spending money. This is going to be an unbelievable summer window. Unbelievable summer window. That's where I'm at. Normski, big up to you, bro. Big up to views as well. Big up to you guys in the chat. Big up to the mods. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe, people. And make sure you get involved in the mega competition, which I did put up on screen earlier. Footballprizes.co.uk. Links in the description. Make sure you get the Thierry Henry signed jersey. If you are quick, you will still be able to get in with a chance of hospitality tickets. Arsenal, Newcastle, Thierry Henry signed shirt. Now, there's also a instant wins of 20 prizes, shirts that are signed by Arsenal players as well. So please make sure you get involved in this, people. It's only 99 pence per ticket. If you do win, like we have had on this channel, please put it in the chat and let us know, because we'll celebrate together with you. We've had that before on Lee Judge's channel, on this channel, and we've also had it when on Tom Canton's channel as well. We've had a few people. So make sure, yeah, that we put in it. Ryan says he's going to win it. Bro, Ryan, as a regular viewer and listener and a mod on this channel, I pray that you do, my bro. I pray that you do. View says smash the likes. Let's get it nearly at 600. Yeah, we need to get this up, people. Come on. Let's make sure we hit the like and subscribe button, please. Let's do some super chats before we close. Let's stop sharing that and let's bring this back up. We've got some super chats before we do say goodbye to you all. This one comes in. We did Orcs. We did Shay Tanya's. Big up to Jay, who's a new member. Gunnar says, Gyokeres and David on a free. I'd take that. I would take that, by the way. People that say Jonathan David's a bum, I haven't said enough of him to call him a bum. All I see is that he keeps getting good goals. I'll take him on a free if he's back up. He's better than Havertz and Jesus, in my opinion. Suj, big up Dan in the community. Hit the likes and subscribe. Appreciate the work Dan puts in. Thank you, my bro. Gyokeres would be a great signing. 200k, he's still less than 29. Yes, he is. Absolutely has to happen. And it's a madness that he's on 290, by the way. That's going to affect us moving forward, putting him and Jesus on a combined 500 plus K a week. That is absolutely mad. Big up to the super sticker to Mad Flint, absolute legend. Really appreciate that. Vikash says squad player with 280k a week is criminal. Do you know what? I want him as a squad player, but I wouldn't say I'd be disappointed if he left. 290k a week is a disgrace. Sue says, I like the idea of Gyokeres and one other striker with a viewer clearing out number 29 and Jesus. But you're right, Arteta will play number 29 as a second striker. Do you know one thing I hope he doesn't do is drop Kai Havertz into that 8 role next season? I don't think he will, hear me out, because Rice will be there because Zubimendi's coming in. I think the Zubimendi signing rules Havertz dropping back into midfield out. I'm not saying he won't play there as part of a squad or rotation, or he might play there in some parts of games, but for me, I can't be seeing that. I cannot be seeing that. Steve Robertson says, big up, Dan. Imagine Gyokeres, Rodrygo, and Saka. That's the dream, my bro. That is the dream. What a front three that would be. And don't tell me that can't score goals. Zinakul says, Rodrygo glazes City all the time. Yeah, a lot of people saying that they believe City would be favourites to get him. Now, I just pray they don't go in for him, but I kind of feel like they will. Why would they not? Sue says, Eze is good, helps with the homegrown quota. Yes, he does. And you know what? He's a big gooner from what we understand. And I know people always roll their eyes at that. Oh, everyone's an Arsenal fan. But he genuinely is, apparently. If he wins the FA Cup, which I hope Palace do, even though D will be insufferable for a while, I'll just mute him and block him. I think that's the perfect time for him to actually say, do you know what? Fair play. Let's go. Let's move out. That's the way I see it. I think he's in a position to say, like, laters, I've done my piece. You can't get much better than that, to be honest. When you win the FA Cup at a club like Palace, who have got nothing to win in their history, you've got to say fair play. Look, do me a favor, people. Hit the like and subscribe button. How many likes? How we doing on likes, mods? What we got, chat? We're at 574 at the moment. There's 1.4k in here. Hit the like and subscribe, and I would love you forever. Rodrygo and Gyokeres to Arsenal, question mark. Could you imagine? Could you imagine we get these two players in? Can you imagine how many people would be like ranting and raving about this? How many people would be screaming? Manchester City fans, Liverpool fans, Newcastle fans even. They'd all be going, that's not good news for us, is it? That's what I want rival fans to be thinking. Not, Arsenal signed Sterling on deadline day. What a joke club. Arsenal have signed Marino when they need a striker. Like that for me, no. Tap me out of that rubbish, man. Tap me out of that rubbish. I do not want that crap. I do not want that crap. So that's where I'm at, people. Do me a favor. I needed to go spam and raid someone for me. 12-man community, go and hashtag raid Sarcasm City TV. Flawless. Say Dan Potts raid, Dan Potts raid, Dan Potts raid. Go and show him some love. He's talking about Zubimendi and how he thinks Zubimendi will be a brilliant signing for Arsenal. He's a Manchester United fan, for those that don't know. So go show him some love. Big up to everyone for the super chats. Big up to everyone for the like buttons. Make sure you go to footballprizes.co.uk and check them out. And we will see you next time. Go and spam Sarcasm City TV. Dan Potts raid. Let's do this. Take care, people. We're out.